The original Tuttle and the new LT150 both have the capability to plait yarns. Plaiting is a technique when two ends of yarn are introduced to the needles at the same feed, but they are introduced in different positions on the needle latch. The yarn that is introduced on the higher position on the needle will be more prevalent on the outside of the knitted tube. From this angle, it appears as though the white yarn is in a higher position than the orange yarn. Viewing from this angle, it's more clear that the orange yarn is higher than the white yarn. Here is what the orange plaited yarn looks like on the outside of the fabric. This is a view of the plaited fabric from the inside. Plaiting is a technique commonly used in industrial fabrics. However, on the LT150 and the original Tuttle, you can use this technique to do patterning. An example of patterning that can be done on either a Tuttle or an LT150 is lettering. Here is the pattern I created on simple graph paper. The X's represent needles in which the orange yarn will be plaited. The spaces, or the blank boxes between the letters, are where the orange yarn will be floated. Here is a mirror image of that pattern rotated 180 degrees. I'll be starting with the tops of the letters. Keep in mind that rotating the pattern may not be necessary, depending on whether or not you're starting with the toe or the cuff of the sock. In this example, I'm plaiting the orange yarn. In these first two stitches, I've plaited the very top of the letter L. Now I'm skipping 4 needles to create the space between the letters L and T. And in these next 6 stitches, I'm plaiting the very top of the letter T. To complete the tops of the letters T and L, repeat the pattern. Rotate the cylinder back to that first needle, plait those first 2 stitches on those first 2 needles, skip 4, and then plait on the next 6 needles. In the next 3 to 4 rows of stitches, we're going to be plaiting the tall legs of the letters L and T. Last 2 rows of stitches, we're completing the letters by forming the bottom of the L and the bottom of the T. Thank you for viewing, and I hope you found this video helpful in the use of your antique Tuttle or your new LT150.